Hello children, are you scared of dogs? How do you respond when a dog chases you or when alone in a scary dark room? In any situation, organisms show relevant responses in their environment using their muscles or glands. There must be coordination among various parts of the body, which is in turn controlled by another system. This is called control and coordination system. In plants, coordination is brought about by special chemicals called plant hormones. In animals, this involves the sense organs, nervous system, and endocrine systems. I am Shubhajit. So get ready to learn the topic animal hormones, endocrine glands. From the lesson Control and Coordination of Class 10 Biology. Passing the information from one part of the body to another occurs by sending chemical signals through the blood and electrical signals through the nerves. Chemical signals are passed by the endocrine system composed of ductless glands that secretes hormones. The nervous system includes sense organs. The brain, the spinal cord, nerves, muscles, and glands that work together in a groups. Learning outcomes. After studying this topic, you will be knowing about definition of endocrine gland and hormone, types of endocrine glands, and hormones secreted by them, conditions resulted due to hypo or hypersecretion of hormones. Keywords: endocrine glands, hormones, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreas, islets of Langerhans, insulin, goiter, adrenal glands, let us see the concept map on animal hormones and endocrine glands. The endocrine glands are called ductless glands. Hormones are special chemical substances secreted in minute quantity by endocrine glands. They are carried by the blood to target organs on which they act and coordinate their activities and functions. The major endocrine glands among them are the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, the parathyroid glands, adrenal glands, islets of Langerhans, gonads or testes, and ovaries. And thymus gland. The pituitary gland is situated at the base of the brain with two lobes, the anterior and posterior lobes. The anterior lobe is called adenohypophysis and the posterior lobe is called neurohypophysis. This glands secretes many hormones which control the functioning of other endocrine glands. Hormones secreted by the pituitary gland: growth hormone, somatotropic hormone, STH. It regulates both physical and mental growth. Thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, stimulates the secretion of thyroid gland hormones. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, regulates the secretion of adrenal glands hormones. Melanocyte stimulating hormone, MSH, controls the synthesis of melanin in the skin. Prolactin stimulates the secretion of milk from mammary glands. Vasopressin, ADH, controls the excretion of water from the kidneys. Oxytocin stimulates the constriction of uterus muscles during childbirth. And the ejection of milk from mammary glands. And is also called the birth hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone, FSH stimulates the production of gametes from gonads. Luteinizing hormone LH stimulates the secretion of sex hormones by the gonads. When growth hormone is secreted in excess before sexual maturity, the growth will be very high and leads to gigantism. When it is secreted in less quantity, it leads to dwarfism. When growth hormone is secreted in excess after maturity, leads to disorder called acromegaly. The symptoms are protrusion of jaws and nose and disproportionate growth of bones in hands and legs. Thyroid gland is a reddish brown colored gland present in the throat region, below the pharynx, in front of the trachea. It secretes a hormone called thyroxine, composed of an amino acid, tyrosine, and iodine. Thyroxine influences the rate of metabolism, increases the heat, and promotes the mental and physical development of the body. Hypothyroidism is caused due to the decreased secretion of thyroid hormones. The abnormal conditions resulted are simple goiter, cretinism, and myxedema. Goiter is caused due to the inadequate supply of iodine in our diet. It leads to enlargement of thyroid gland, which protrudes as a swelling in the neck called goiter. Cretinism is caused due to decreased secretion of thyroid hormones in children. This results in stunted growth, mental defect, lack of skeletal development, and deformed bones. These children are called cretins. The underactivity of the thyroid gland in adults is called myxedema. This may lead to a low metabolic rate, loss of mental and physical vigor, increase in body weight, thickening of the skin, and lower rate of heartbeat. This can be cured by the administration of the required quantity of iodine. Hypothyroidism causes high metabolic rate, protrusion of eyeballs, high blood pressure, profuse sweating, fatigue, and weight loss. The parathyroid glands are 4 small oval bodies situated on the posterior surface of the thyroid lobes. A hormone called parathormone is produced by parathyroid glands. The function of parathormone is to regulate the amount of calcium salts in blood and bones. Deficiency of this hormone leads to painful muscle cramps, and excess secretion of it results in the loss of calcium in the bones, making them soft and spongy. In 1868, Paul Langerhans worked on the structure of pancreas. He noted certain patches of cells were different in appearance from the normal tissue cells and have richly supplied with blood vessels. They are known as islets of Langerhans. Many others were interested in the function of the pancreas. They experimentally proved in animals that its removal from the body would lead to the development of diseases similar to the human ailment sugar diabetes. This condition leads to abnormally high amounts of free sugar in the blood and urine. Tying up the pancreatic duct would cause the pancreas to degenerate, but the islets of Langerhans would remain normal and the treated animal would not develop diabetes. In 1912, it was found that the islets produced a secretion directly liberated into the blood. In Latin, insula means an island, and the name insulin was coined for this secretion. Later, in Toronto, Banting, Best, and MacLeod finally succeeded in extracting insulin. The intravenous injection of insulin given to a dog with no pancreas kept it alive and healthy with a low level of blood sugar. Insulin is now produced in large quantities for the treatment of human diabetes. The islets of Langerhans secrete two hormones, namely insulin and glucagon. The adrenal glands are located above the kidneys and are called suprarenal glands. The outer part is the adrenal cortex and the inner part is the adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex secretes many hormones like cortisol and corticosterone and aldosterone. Cortisol regulates the rate of metabolism and the concentration of salts in the blood. The adrenal medulla secretes adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine. Adrenaline regulates heart rate, breathing rate, and blood pressure. Adrenaline is secreted in very small quantities in normal conditions, but secreted in excess in emergencies like fear, anxiety, anger, and emotional stress. Hence, it is called an emergency hormone or the fright, fight, and flight hormone. Gonads. The boys and girls develop specific and differentiating characters at maturity. This is due to the functioning of gonads, which are the sex glands. Gonads produce sex hormones after the attainment of puberty or maturity in a person. Sex hormones also cause the development of sex organs like testes in males and ovaries in females. Testes produce male hormones called androgens like testosterone. This hormone is responsible for the appearance of masculine characters in males. Ovaries produce female hormones called estrogen, responsible for the appearance of feminine characters in females after puberty. Ovaries also secrete a hormone called progesterone that stimulates the changes in the uterus during the menstrual cycle and pregnancy. Thymus gland is partly an endocrine gland and partly a lymphoid gland. It is located in the upper part of chest, covering the lower end of the trachea. Thymosin is the hormone secreted by thymus. It has stimulatory effect on immune function and is involved in the production and differentiation of lymphocytes.